This is St. David's FC, the worst team in the worst league in FC 25. In this series, I will make it my mission to lead this garbage team to the top and bring them championship glory. However, it will not be easy. In order to do so, we must be promoted from League 2 to League 1 to the Championship to the Premier League to taste any silverware.
That tastes like promotion!
And to gain our ultimate prize, the Champions League trophy. The man the Board of Trustees and the chairperson have hired to take the manager role of St. David's FC is none the other than Sir Sebastian Ravenscroft. And just look at this guy. Very good looking, posh fellow from England. Born into a very wealthy family, so hopefully he can bring some big donations in his name. And as I said, his appellative is Sir, and that's because he was knighted by the Queen. This is the guy for the job. But if we do go over and look at our office, even though he is quite the rich lad, we only have $2 million in our budget, and half of that's through wage cuts. So our initial budget was only $1 million. This team does not have that much money and not much resources to allocate. So we will look into what we can do and head over to our team management to figure that out. And after looking at the squad for a quick moment, this squad depth is quite bleak. And looking at this, we do have a 57 overall who is pretty young on our bench. We don't have that many young guys, but we do have two prospects of talents. Firstly, in Al Shamari, 24-year-old, 62 overall, quite a promising left back. He can also play center back. And then our other promising prospect is James from Wales, 23-year-old, 63 overall. He is quite the versatile player as well, can play winger and play both positions at midfield. But however, the rest of the team is looking quite old. Our two best players really are 31 and 33 years old. Quite the solid center back core, but maybe only good for the rest of the year. They'll start regressing pretty soon. Otherwise, we are pretty bleak through the middle as well. Our strikers pretty low in overall, and our midfielders as well. Now, the only really young one is Marsh from England. He's 23 years old, but maybe that's the only player we'd see staying on our squad for another year or two. Otherwise, these guys need to go, and that's what we need to start targeting with our scouts and our academy. Moving in tactically to this team, we're running a 4-4-2, of course. And like I said earlier, the outside is pretty decent. We got some decent players. Al Shamari, James, even Carroll are quite high in overall. And the middle is what's looking bleak. So even though, I'd most likely be looking at tiki-taka, I think we're going to have to go wing play because that's just really where we're going to be finding the most attack. Build-up style, I believe we're going to stay balanced. The counter would be ideal, but that's only good for, against teams we're just, absolutely going to get demolished by. I don't think the counter is going to be quite potent enough for a League 2 team, so we'll be running a balanced build-up style. And defensive approach will stay high. We got a quite good defense, so I'm not too worried about that. And now moving on to what could be the most important part of this rebuild for St. David's FC is our youth academy. And just like the squad, it's looking quite low in depth. We've only got two players, one goalie in Tyler Turner and one left mid in Bradley Cole. We did see our outside mids were pretty decent, so this guy could be, developing under some two veteran players. But this goalie could be looking to get in the squad soon. We'll see how his potential turns out. I would like to see where both of these guys go potential-wise. But we'll definitely need to start recruiting. But unfortunately, looking at this youth scout, he has got a 1-star in experience and 1-star in judgment. I'm sure that's pretty typical for a new team, but this guy will not be doing the job. And I'm almost tempted right away to go and get Archer Garcia from Andorra here, but I won't jump the gun quite yet. I know the budget top right does say 1.8 million. I'm very tempted, but I think we need to go look at scouts really quick. And after taking a quick peek at our scouts from looking at players that are already on teams, I have noticed that we just have 3 scouts. And I feel like it's a little bit too much for St. David's at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and fire Gavin McMahon. And, okay, that's not what I meant to do. But what I did notice is dude only has a release clause fee of $27,000, which I think we can allocate. So I'm not too worried about that. We are going to send... Oh, it looks like Savarson is already in China. I don't even know if that's how you say it. I'm sorry, Freeman from Iceland. But now looking into Teddy Adams, I did narrow down down to 4 players into Sonny Cox, Aaron Presley, Sedwin Scott, and Kenneth Abo. All 4 of these players look relatively good physically, so I decided to scout them. Hopefully, one of these guys can replace one of our strikers. That's what we'll look to do. If they don't pan out to do well, we will go straight into Youth Academy and start spending money there. But we'll be looking into scouting one of these guys. After simming about 10 days, a couple major things that you guys have missed. First, we entered the Beats Cup. We'll be able to examine some of our players and see if we have the correct starting lineup. And two, our scouting has finally finished. Looking into our scouting here from Teddy Adams. We had 4 guys that we scouted. All of them looked pretty decent. I decided not to go on Scott here because he's just getting a little bit older and he wasn't good enough. But I tried getting loans for these 3 players. Unfortunately, Stevenage and Exeter weren't ready for a loan, but Norwich was in Kenneth Abo. But unfortunately, this guy is like, let's see here, yeah, $16.5K wage, and that's just something we couldn't cover. So I tried to lowball him, and Norwich wasn't having it. So we ended up not getting Abo. We'll still have these guys on our radar for maybe later, but I think we're going to have to start looking into free agents and targeting Youth Academy. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. And after spending months in free agency scouting for the right player, we have finally gotten our guy, Owushi Boateng. Look at this guy joining our room right here. He's going to be an absolute beast. He's a Ghanaian player, 17 years old, got plenty of pace, and as you can see, he's already working out. Such a motivational guy. He's going to be fitting perfectly into our striking position. And as you just saw there, we just found an absolute gem of a steal here in Boateng from, I believe that's Ghana. But yeah, Boateng, he's a new starter in our squad. He can play striker or right wing, 17 years old. What a beast he's going to be. It's going to be a pleasure being able to play with this kid. I accidentally put Hunter onto the bench. I believe we will keep Hunter in the lineup. Let's look at Mitchell here. Mitchell's younger. But yeah, Boateng adds so much to our squad. Look, a 61 overall, 17-year-old. That's perfect. That's just as good as a youth academy at that point. And plus it was free from free agency. That's just what we needed to add to our squad. Let's go. And welcome to Friday, July 19th, the day we will play our first game in a St. David's FC uniform versus Crew Alexandra. And one more thing to update you on while I was simming. I did hire youth scout Alan here. And you know what? We're going to go and head in and already just put him in. We're going to put him into a random Asian country. We need a cheap mission. And let's just see if this guy can cook. We're going to go to Western Asia and go to Turkey. I feel like they've got some young talent in Turkey that, people need to start looking out for. We'll invest in the center mids only just because we're running a 4-4-2 right now. Obviously, we want a playmaker. That's the type of player that I'm looking for right now. So that is what will be going on for our youth academy. Hopefully, we get some great young talent for Turkey. But yeah, Alan, please cook in Turkey, man. And as always, before we head into a game, we'll take a look at our starting lineup. No changes from the normal starting lineup because, of course, we haven't gotten to take a look at players here. But maybe there will be some changes after this first game against Crew Alexandra. So let's hop in. And there's Sebastian Ravenscroft, the first impression, according to EAFC. As we hop in here, the first kickoff's underway. And it's Whitehouse. Out to James. Dribbling on the flank. Cuts inside. Good move. Oh, he's open on the wing. Pass inside. The shot. Ooh. Just wide. Here are the center backs. Out to Al-Shamari. Al-Shamari. Cuts inside. Finds one of the mids. Good cut. And there's Boateng, the new recruit. Oh, he's dispossessed. Good stuff by Crew Alexandra. Their first entry into our half. And here's a good chance from Crew. Come on, clutch up. And it's a good save from our keeper. McCobb, get there. And that's the first chance for them. Now wide here to James, our star player. Plays the ball in. Looking to play the wing play according to our tactic. Going back to the mid. It's quite slow play from... Quite hard to play with, honestly. But back here to James. The shot. Good save. Shouldn't have gotten near post there. Probably should have gone far post. But still learning how to play with these players. Oh, and here they are on the attack. They got through our defense too easily. And it's a good tackle. Oh, no. Get out. What is going on? Good save. That was hectic. That was a little bit of poor fashion football right there. Got to be better from the center backs. They're quite slow, I've noticed. As we try here to defend this corner. Good chance here from Crew Alexandra. And oh my gosh. I don't know who that was, but they got to get hit on that next time. Ravenscroft disappointed so far. Through the mid to Whitehouse. Out to Boateng. Good through ball in. It's Mitchell. Mitchell. He's got a lane. A good pass. Here's a goal. The first goal for St. David's. Who was that? I'm still learning names. It was Carroll. Great finish from the lad. It actually was, I think it was pretty central. Good strike. Oh, keeper. They're going to ask questions of the keeper there. But at the end of the day, good pass from James, I believe. And Carroll. Oh, no, it was Mitchell. Sorry, Mitchell with the assist. Carroll with the finish. And that is St. David's football. And at halftime, St. David's FC leads 1-0 over Crew Alexandra. And looking at our team performances so far, our goalkeeper, Jonathan Jones, leads the group at an 8.2. Had a couple crucial saves that you would have seen there. Otherwise, Carroll and Mitchell obviously connecting with each other on the goal. Good stuff. I've quite enjoyed watching Boateng play. Wushi Boateng, what a beast. He's been all over the place, making good tackles, making good balls, getting good through runs in. So he's been quite the potent player so far. Otherwise, Al Shamari on a 5.3, not very good. But let's head back into the game. In the tackle, good job by Randall. Looking wide, and open is right. Oh, huge move. Mitchell in the Boateng. Can he score? He can! Boateng, first game for the lad. New signing, first signing of St. David's. And he's on a score sheet to make it 2-0. What a day. In the 90th minute, St. David's FC Saints are having. Look at our fans showing up in those beautiful jerseys. Great stuff. Looking at Boateng, he's just wide open in the middle. What is Crew doing there? Finds the corner. Great stuff. And the away fans are going absolutely wild. Can we round off this second half well and leave with a 2-0 clean sheet? They're kind of piecing us up, though. Good takeaway. Mellor. And that's it. The away fans cheer. St. David's 2-0 win. And that is our first game in the books. And after our first victory to hop to 1-0 in the franchise series of St. David's FC over Crew Alexandra and 1-0 in the beat standings, I decided to also play out the second game against Willem too. These are just going to be highlights. Not much substance here, but I thought there wasn't much in the first game, so we'll also have a second game in this video. James cuts inside. Oh, past him. Good ball. Here's Mitchell. Good. Oh, it's in. Oh, my gosh. That is the most undeserved goal ever. But good stuff from James and Mitchell on the goal. I believe that might be his second of his campaign. Good ball to Mitchell. Mitchell with the cut. The shot. And it's a finish. Good ball from Rowe. And Mitchell has his second on the day. 2-0 to St. David's. Mitchell has been turned into quite the goal-scoring threat.
And after that wonderful goal from Mitchell there, that was our last goal of the game. So finished 2-0 to St. David's FC Saints. And we hopped to 2-0 in the beat standings. We'll see you in the next game.